Preparing to live stream the meeting. Hoo, hoo, hoo. Hi, everyone. Hi, Agatha. Hi, Peter. Hi.
Hello.
Hi, everyone. Andre, it's nice to see you, sweetie. Preparing to live stream the meeting. All right. So, hi, everyone. Hi, Agatha. Hi, Peter. Hi. All right, so I'm going to get a feedback, so I'm going to have to mute this. Meeting. All right, I have no idea how this is going to work, guys. No idea at all how this is going to feedback, so I'm going to have to mute this. I don't know which one to mute. Does anyone have expertise in this that could help me figure it out? I have no idea how this is going to work, guys.
Was it not across the top of your screen there, Emery?
Does anyone have expertise in this that could help me figure it out? I have no idea how this. Oh, I think, all right. This we'll just let this go. So this is I don't want to get too bogged down in technology. Hopefully this is going to work. I am going to continue, whether it be we'll figure this out somehow. This does not surprise me as all right. Well, here we go, everyone. Welcome everybody to the third. Let me begin recording also. Okay. Welcome everyone to the third Highway Guides Q&A, and I welcome you from the bottom of my heart. My name is Anne Marie Morales. I am a healer, a channel, and someone who just wants to help this ascension process along. Lord knows we all want it to move along, don't we? Okay, so I'm just going to allow for spirit to come through and do what they need to do. Let's begin by just setting an intention of only the highest love and light, messages that will do the greatest good for the individuals asking as well as for the collective. And we surround ourselves in a bubble of only the highest love light energy. And again, from the bottom of my heart, I thank you for spending some time with me today. So I'm going to figure out how to let everybody come into the chat without having to let people like pop in and out. Okay. All right, I'm not going to worry about that anymore. So let us begin and see what Spirit has to say to everyone today. And I love you all. Thank you. Thank you. I love you all. Welcome, 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 everyone. We are the Highway Guides. We are Anne Marie's guides and teachers. And yes, this journey is long. This journey is difficult, and sometimes it is very, very tiring. But as always, this is a journey that starts and ends within you. This is a journey that is dependent upon each and every one of you present today in person, present today over the internet, wherever you may be. You are driving your train. You are at the helm of your existence. And by taking time to help yourself, by seeking guidance and wisdom, is the best way for you to make this journey as pleasant and as without pit stops and bumps in the road as possible. So we welcome you all today. We happen to know that our dear one has had a difficult morning, and she had a question for us, so we're going to begin with her question. And her question for us is, why is the human aging process so difficult? Those of you who know our dear one know that she is taking care of her mother, who is old for your planet, 95 years old, but who still has great life force within her. And what betrays her is her vessel. And so we have great compassion for our dear one. We have great compassion for her mother and for all those whose vessels seem to betray them. And what we wish to say to our dear one and to all of you who witness this and who indeed experience this is to have heart and to allow this incarnation to flow with the highest grace possible. When we say to you that everything starts and ends in your mind, it is really the truth. When you have consciousness available to you in your mind, you do not want it to be taken over by systems and programs that cause you to suffer. Now, from someone who we will use the term who is awake, in quotation marks, who understands creation, who understands the incarnation, the cycle of incarnation, the reasons why souls incarnate, it becomes easier to understand why suffering occurs. There are different reasons for this, and mostly it has to do with your negating the karma that you have accumulated over lifetime after lifetime after lifetime after lifetime. So if that karma is still continuing with you at the towards the end of your incarnation, unfortunately, that energy condenses and congeals and causes great suffering. Now, having said that, there is also lessons to be learned from everyone who is in association with each individual who is clearing their karma. So while you may have one relative who was spry and happy and died gracefully and peacefully in their sleep, and then you have another one that suffered upon suffered upon suffered and then finally died. You call it death. It is not death, but from your point of view, it is a disconnection. Those who are left behind do not see what is in their density anymore. So, we will pause. Oh, jeepers Christmas. Okay, so, all right. So here we go. Let me try and get back in touch. Let me dry my face a little bit. Thank you for your patience, everybody. This is just the way Anne Marie rolls. Okay, please come back. Please come back and finish your train of thought. All right. Yes, dear ones, we are back. We are back. And yes, this dear one has a lot going on. And it is one of the reasons why you identify with her. It is one of the reasons why she appeals to many of you, because there's no pretense, there's no falsity. Life rolls on and it is experienced with gusto, whether it be entertaining an animal or driving along a busy highway and getting ticked off at other commuters. This is how she rolls. This is what is the flavor of her life. And that is something that each of you identifies with. If you did not resonate with her, you would not be here. And we thank you for that. So getting back to our conversation as to why the aging process is so difficult. You may see it as difficult, and indeed in the moment there is pain and there is what you believe as suffering, but it is indeed strictly an experience. It is an experience of life that when this soul ultimately transitions back into spirit, and has the life review, they can go back through and see it all. They can see not only how they, let us say, behaved. It's a bad word to use, but it's a word you understand. Not just how they behaved over the course of their incarnation, but they look at how others reacted to their behavior. And in that, there is also release of karma. So it comes back to each and every individual. How are you treating someone who requires a great deal of care, whether it be an infant, whether it be an adult, whether it be an elder in your society? How do you treat the ones close to you? How do you treat the stranger on the street? Indeed, you are all one. Indeed, you are taking care of yourself. Dear one, you are taking care of you. You are taking care of an aspect of you that has chosen to incarnate, that has chosen to be the vessel for you, who has given you her DNA, who has given you her skills, her talents, who has given you the ability to be who you are at this moment. So take heart, dear one. The journey is not over yet, and you are learning each step of the way, and you're doing a good job. Thank you, sweetheart. Thank you, dear one, for this question, and we will let her recover. All right, guys. Woo! All right, how's everybody doing today? Someone say something nice. Tell me a joke or an anecdote from your life. Feel free. This is interactive in every way. This is not the Anne Marie show. This is all of us together. I've got some chat things happening here. Hey, Andre. Hi, Juta. Thanks, Juta. Yeah. Hi, Tatiane. Nice to meet you. Oh, you're taking care of a rabbit with a tumor. Wasn't that sweet? Well, that rabbit is really appreciative of all the care you're doing, sweetheart. I'm sure. All right, I'm going to move this to the side. So, as we've done in the past, I have some pre-questions. I have some questions that were sent to me before, and I can start with those. But if you have a question, please feel free to type it in the chat, and I will take that for you live. All right. That's like my favorite San Pellegrino soda. I like soda. At least at San Pellegrino. Okay, my friends, very good. So the first question that I have comes from Brittany. I don't know if she is on. Thanks, Andre. Andre said he was eating chips and bit his finger. Should you be eating the chips? Question. All right, very good, very good. So Brittany said she's going to try and be on. I don't know if she's here or not, but I'm going to take her first question and then move on. So her question for us is for Jesus or whoever feels they would like to answer. Working through my Course in Miracles lessons has been challenging to say the least, but has been accompanied by so many internal accomplishments, growth, and healing. I have now started to focus externally on helping my family grow spiritually as well. What are some topics I can share with my children ages 2 to 15 to help them live their best lives and attain their own connections with Source and their own guides and teachers? Okay, that's a beautiful, beautiful question. And let's see what Spirit has to say. Yes, I am that one you know as Jesus. And thank you for this question. And thank you, dear Brittany, for asking it for the betterment of all those involved. When it comes to children living spiritually, children know how to live more spiritually than most adults because children are not polluted by the environment that they grow up in. However, what we would like to advise you, dear one, and advise anyone who has young lives to guide, let us say, first of all, allow them to guide you. Allow them to show you what they wish to discuss, what they wish to explore, whether it be something in nature, whether it be a topic of the day. Allow the child to communicate with you and allow them to express their feelings, because more than likely they are going to teach you something that you, in your desire to guide, have not really thought about. So we encourage you to make things much more of a conversation rather than this is how you're supposed to do it. That kind of education is no longer resonance. When it comes to teaching a child, and indeed teaching everyone around you, you really must lead by example. Life will give you the lessons you need to learn. So ask for the classroom to come to you. Not so much that you need to go to a classroom and teach a child or a family member or anyone anything. What you need to do is open yourself up to guidance from Spirit by doing your Course in Miracles lessons so that you yourself become a clearer and more connected vessel with Spirit. And then once that happens, the situations will arise spontaneously, and you will be able to say, wow, it is not me that is teaching, but it is indeed Spirit using my children to teach me. Because as has stated before by the highway guides, my brothers in this journey, my brothers and sister beings in spirit, what they have said was that everything starts and ends within you, which is the truth. So if you are wanting to be the best guide for a young soul, then be the best you that you can be. Learn to live in love and forgiveness. Do not forget the words that were uttered by my avatar on this planet. Forgive them, they know not what they do. Most people are in a dream. Most people are unconscious. So they truly do not know. They truly do not know how they are reacting, how they are acting, and what programs they are reflecting. So do the inner work yourself. Cleanse your soul, cleanse your vessel. Be as pure a bearer of light as you possibly can be. It takes time, it takes hard work, but it is possible. It is uncomfortable, as any transformation is. From the point of view of the caterpillar, going into a cocoon, there is great struggle. There is great discomfort, struggle, and finally release. So while you are going through your steps of purification, for lack of a better word, we want you to understand that it is not an easy trek. But the more you reach out, the more you ask for assistance from myself and from the other beings of light that are incarnate, you will make it fine. And we encourage you to continue, with the lessons. Do them, become disciplined, become a disciple, become someone who devotes their life to living in as much love, joy, and detachment from ego as possible. That is our message for you, and we thank you and bless you all. Okay. I don't know if Brittany is here. Are you here, Brittany? Maybe. I don't know. No, I don't see her here. Okay, cool. No problemo. Thank you, everybody, again. I kind of see your faces going on. All right, coolness. Thank you. All right. All right. Next question is coming from Jasmine, who's not here. Jasmine, I now know who Jasmine is, and she is here in the United States, which is really cool. And one of her questions is, would you please help me to understand how past or parallel lives work? If in this life I overcome a challenge that has also affected me in past incarnations, how are those incarnations affected? Does waking up in this timeline mean that me in those other timelines take a leap towards waking up as well, especially if the bleed through challenges are overcome? She has some really good questions. Would all the me's in these incarnations recognize one another if we were to meet? And is there a point when all of my me's from each incarnation meet one another for a reunion party? Thanks much, guides, for understanding my linear thought process and your willingness to give me clarifications. And she thanks me for doing this work. I heard this from another channeler one time, and what the other channeler told me was that if you met or encountered an aspect of your own soul, you just come to, like, you really just connect. It's like, you're just like, wow, I really like you. We're really quite similar to each other, and you become close and fast friends. So that's what I've heard. But then again, I digress, because this is not about the Anne-Marie show, and let's see what Spirit says. we are not the highway guides. We are a little bit of the elemental realm. And why do you say that we come through answering this question about human incarnations? Well, we are taking the opportunity to just give a little chit chat about dimensional reality to you. So we inhabit a reality that is just beyond your dimension. And indeed, all your concurrent existences occur just beyond your dimension. Now, we have a little bit of a visualization for you to help you understand what it means to be just on the other side. I want you to imagine, if you will, a spinning atom, spinning and spinning and spinning, with the electrons and neutrons flowing and flowing and flowing. Well, that is kind of how your reality works. You have aspects of your reality in different swirls around you, and sometimes they connect. Sometimes they bleed through, and you experience something that is just a little bit odd or a little bit out of time. Well, that is how it kind of functions. And if you do, imagine yourself sitting in the middle. Imagine yourself being the nucleus of said atom, just being there in the middle. Of course, if you experience something positive, something that definitely raises your vibration, or something sadly that lowers your vibration, it is going to impact in one way or another your other aspects of yourself. It does. And yes, indeed, if you elevate your vibration to where you release karmic trauma in your current present existence, which, by the way, transforms and changes from moment to moment. So it is something that is quite in the realm of difficult to understand when it comes to the human's perception and point of view. But we will do our best to relay and convey that, once again, what you do now does affect you from this dimension and all the other dimensions that you connect with at any given moment. So our dear one was having a conversation with a friend, and they were contemplating timelines. They were contemplating directions that things could have gone. So, as it has been, I'm sure, not new to some of you, that you are sitting at a stoplight and one aspect of you makes a right turn and travels to the destination safely. One goes forward and gets into a traffic stop, and one turns left and indeed hits another car, or another car hits them. That is the kind of complicated reality that is potential for each and every one of you. So, what do we say about this? We say, worry about you. Worry about what's happening with you at this time. Now, having said that, there are aspects of karma, there are bleed through situations that still, let us say, affect the you. And this is where you go for assistance. If you do not have the ability to tap into, let's say, Akashic records, let's say you do not have the ability to view timelines, etc., you seek counsel, because the problems will repeat and repeat and repeat and repeat. So when it comes to karmic debt, that is what will happen. When it comes to, let us say, shaking off a feeling of a vision that you have, that will require your human imagination, your human perception of creation, because you indeed create. With every movement that you make, with every choice that you take, with every thought. You are potentially creating your future. So if something is nagging you and bugging you, sit with it and transform it. Sit with it and transform it. Find out why it bothers you. Find out why something is irritating you, and let it go and forgive it. And indeed, imagine an alternate outcome. If you are reliving a fight with a spouse or a beloved or with a child or something, go back and do it again. Go back and do it the way you wished you could have done it. Heal it and let it go. The past is the past. The past has nothing to do with you now other than to be a reference point for future action, whether it be future joy or whether it be a desire to not repeat what happened before. So we hope that has assisted you in your journey. And that is all. Okay, that is all. How are we doing out there? Are we good? Are we good? Are we good? Okay, cool. Thank you. Let's see if I have any questions. Anybody have anything to say about that? Any experiences they wish to share? Anybody feel anything they need to communicate? Okay. If you do, just unmute yourself and say hello. All right, coolness, cool beans. So Norman is here. Hi, Norman. Nice to meet you. I'm kind of getting really, really warm. Woo, can I go turn the fan on? Give me a second. Chat amongst yourselves. I'll be right back. Woo. All right. Okay, sorry for that, everybody. I hope that doesn't cause too much disruption. Okay, so Norman has a question, and it is, earlier this week, I had a remote healing session. And during the process, I was told my channeling ability had been opened. Later that day, I felt a separate presence start a conversation in my mind and felt it was Jesus. But he was using my voice instead in my mind. How could I know it was real rather than just my imagination? Can you validate for whether it was real or whether it was, and it was Jesus? Okay, so this one, I'm just going to tell you my experience with channeling. It's real. Okay, it's real. And what happens to me is I hear the words, I hear light language in my head all the time. And it is generally my voice. It is generally my voice. Although one time they had a little joke with me. I really liked Downton Abbey, you know, and the American wife of the Earl of Grantham, she has this kind of way of talking, and she just has this cadence to her voice, and they actually came through with her voice one time, and I thought it was hilarious. But let me just see if there is any message from Spirit about this, okay? Dear ones, when you start to create a connection with guidance, whether it be Jesus, whether it be your guides, whether it be from other realms, other extraterrestrial beings, whatever it may be. You have to understand that the human psyche is very fragile. So imagine if you heard a big booming voice blast into your head the first time that you begin channeling. What do you think you're going to react? You're going to flip out. You're going to you're going to doubt your sanity. What is one of the hallmarks of insane people? They hear voices in their heads. So when spirit starts to communicate, we're doing it in the least traumatic way. And of course, that's going to be the voice that you are most used to in your head, which is your own auditory voice. Now, that does not mean that there aren't times where you will hear other sounds or voices or communications that are not of your quote unquote voice. But those are very specific situations and very specific intentions, let us say. They are all done for a reason, and we believe that that is the easiest way for us to give you confidence that what is generated when you channel is really channeling versus your imagination. Because you will notice. You will notice. Is it something that is new information? Is it a information that is consoling in nature? So listen to it, take it in, and as you begin your journey on channeling, it is a journey of how much you begin to know and love and trust yourself. So trust the messages that come true. Listen to them as not coming from your conscious mind, but coming from beings that love you. Now, if the messages that come through are troubling in any nature, then you know that your frequency is in a state of flux. So when you are beginning to channel, we recommend that you do it in peace with good intention. Clear your space energetically. Use items such as sage or incense. Use sounds such as a ringing bell to clear the space of anything that might not be of your highest good. There is no danger unless you choose it yourself through your choices and through your actions. We hope this helps. Thank you. Okay. How's it going, people? Norman, does that answer your question?
Is it all right? Just unmute myself, and can you hear me?
I can hear you, Norman.
Great. Oh yes, that was wonderful. Thank you so much. And I'd sort of figured it out, but I just wanted to try and validate it. That was primarily it, really. So it feels like I'm talking to my higher self, if that makes sense.
Absolutely.
And I think maybe you can let me know if I'm right. And when you're first starting, even if you don't think you can channel, you could ask yourself a question and then answer it with your highest moral standard from your own mind. Would that work?
Yeah, absolutely. As a matter of fact, that's kind of how I started this whole highway guides thing. I remember I
Right.
was coming back from a trip and I had a question about something and I just put it out there. I just spoke out loud and I said, I said the question out in the air. And then all of a sudden I started to answer my question. And then I'm like, oh, hold on. This is not just me making something up. This is an answer to the question. So yeah, I totally encourage that because it is a conversation with your higher self and with your guidance. And that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, that's and if I could just, can I just elaborate a little bit? Have you got time for another sort of semi question or not?
I guess so. Go for it.
In this healing session I had, I was told that my guides are a group called Shambhala, the Lords of the Nine, and they live inside the earth.
Wow.
And have you heard them before? I'd never heard of them before, so I was just, and they've been wonderful all week. Everything they've done, we've done our own healing sessions with them guiding me, and it's been amazing. So I
Wow.
just wondered if anybody had heard of that spiritual group before, because I've never heard of them.
I've heard of the Nine before.
Yeah, I've heard of the Nine. I just wanted to know if maybe that was them or.
Shambhala, you said? Shambhala?
Yeah.
I think
When you
it's
search online, you get a Tibetan meditation sort of center.
Well, I think it's fantastic, Norman. I think I need to come to you for some channeling and healing. It sounds awesome. Congratulations, Norman. That's really terrific.
Thank you, Anne-Marie.
All right, you're very welcome, and it's nice to meet you. Thanks for coming on.
And thank you to you guys.
Oh, it's so awesome. All right, thank you. Does anyone else have any other questions that you want to communicate? All right, so we still have like 15 minutes left. I'm going to go to another question that was presented by Brittany. How can I help my fiance who's deeply struggling with depression and alcoholism? As some of these vulnerability topics surface in myself, such as self-love, having a partner that is functional and willing to participate, not being alone, I'm working through these things myself and know he's here to show me these things and help me get a better understanding of what I need to heal. But I can't help but feel helpless and like I'm leaving him behind with no escape from the loveless world he's created in his own mind. I feel like this is a part of what I need to do, help him escape. This is the biggest part of my life that needs support and healing, and I just don't know what to do. He's understanding, but not very accepting of this new lifestyle I'm living. Spiritual awakening, awareness, meditation, and connecting to source and guides. He wants no part of it and has made it clear. So that is her concern and her question. Okay. I'm going to just do a couple of things to help me strengthen my bond with spirit. This is an oil blend spray from Amanda Ellis. If you know who she is, she's a spiritual teacher and channel, and I really, really find they assist me. Okay, so let's see what can happen with this if Jesus has anything to say. I am that one you know as Jesus. When you encounter relationships with individuals who may not be in the same spiritual vibrational resonance as you, It is a very difficult position to be in. The more you look at him with love, the more you do not see him as being trapped, the more you see him as an individual who needs as much love as possible so that they do not rely on the energy of the alcoholism or the drug addiction or the sex addiction or whatever addiction any person who seems to be trapped in a detrimental system has. Look at them with highest love. And again, we go to the human imagination. See them as better. Imagine them as wishing more love connection, but also understand that they must learn to love themselves. And if you approach it as a advice of self-love, care for them in their moment of need, but reflect through them, to them, how they are worthy of love, how they are worthy of them treating themselves better. That if they can find within their heart to see how their actions, their substitute love, because that is what they are seeking, their substitute escape is not an escape at all. It is not love at all. It is a hell they are creating for themselves. If they can see that by loving themselves, they would choose other actions, choose other modes of expressing their break from reality. They are in search of the true connection with Source. That is what all situations of self-destruction is. You are all on a mission to seek the love of Source from separation. You came into this dimension wanting to be separate, wanting to work on your vibrational karma situations, whatever it might be. Look at them with love. And do not forget to love yourself as well. You are slave to no one and no thing. Be kind and honor yourself. Be kind and honor them. But learn to set very strong boundaries. It is not loving to anyone if there is a situation that seems unsolvable. Be kind and be loving to yourself. Be as kind and be as loving to them as you possibly can be. Continue to do your lessons, dear one. Continue to connect with your guidance, because your guidance will come through in ways you do not know. Guidance will speak words. Guidance will come through. You seem to think that the act of channeling is something that is conscious, that comes in a time where you're sitting in a chair and burning incense and what have you. That is all well and good. And yes, that is intentional channeling. But the Holy Spirit dwells within you at all times. The Holy Spirit is something that moves at all times, and that will create words, that will create situations for your highest expression of love. Continue to ask, continue to dwell in a space of acceptance and love and forgiveness, and continue to ask for assistance. We cannot express that enough. You must open your hearts to guidance. Ask and pray. Prayer is important. Pray for the highest good. Pray for the angels to assist you. You have access to many realms, to many types of synchronicities and interventions for your highest good. You are in free will, dear one, and some choose the free will, make the free will choice to head towards a path of destruction. And there is nothing that can be done. So you must come to whatever acceptance, whatever means of love and attachment that you must come to. I am the one you know as Jesus. I am with you all. You are all in my heart. And if you allow me into yours, I shall dwell within it as well. And that is all. Okay. All right, my friends, we are at, I think, the 1 hour mark, very close to it. We have 5 minutes left. All right, Peter has a question. My family is involved in a legal matter and I am remunerating too much about it. Why doesn't that surprise me? I love you, Peter. Thank you. Will the outcome serve the greater good, or is my family spinning its wheels? This brings up a situation in my life where we had a big situation go on with my mother's sister and family. And what it served for me, it just served as a further example of vibrational resonance versus family ties. And that how, if you're no longer in vibrational resonance, the universe will put situations in your path to kind of like tell you, listen, you may love these people because they're your family, but they don't do you any good. So you just have to kind of allow things to dissolve and wish them well and let them be on their way. And it's really tough. It's really tough, but that's kind of how something happened in my own personal life. Will the outcome serve the greater good, or is my family spinning its wheels involved in a legal matter? Peter, can you give just a little bit more insight on that? So maybe your answer can get a little more specific.
Okay, it's involved my mother's sister, who is now deceased. We were alleging elder abuse issues by another party. So now there's the estate, and the conservator is basically, we feel, robbing the estate. And it's like, are we being greedy by saying, no, you can't do that? Or we're pursuing it, and it's like, I don't know what the right thing to do is.
Okay. Yeah, that's very fair. It is very similar to my situation. It was my aunt, my mother's sister. I didn't feel, All right, I'm going to shut up. Let's see what happens. Good question, Peter. Very good question. You gotta stick with this one. You gotta stick with it. Because if something's wrong, something is wrong. Things are there. You're not robbing anybody of anything. This is just a matter of making things right. Obviously, you feel there's an injustice. And if it goes to the courts, if it goes there, then it's going to be revealed. So if you're going to do this because you want to honor your aunt. Do it because of love for her. That is the good motivation. That is fighting the good fight. And yes, sometimes it needs to go on to a higher court because you're dealing with matters of this density. You're dealing with matters of this dimension. So yeah, keep going. Keep going. That's what we advise you. Thanks. That's the same energy from before, Peter. That's the same energy. Saint Germain? I don't know if it's Saint Germain. I don't know. I don't feel it's Saint Germain. You know, I mean, I think it's a guide of yours that was a part of your family. That's now your guide.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Anyway,
No offense to Rosemary. Okay.
But that's what I needed to hear. It answers exactly what I need to do. So thank you, guides. Thank you, everyone.
You're welcome. Namaste. All right, sweetheart. Okay, so I've got one little quick question left from Agatha, and then we will call it. Okay, so Agatha asked, could Spirit provide me guidance can provide guidance for me as to how to become a healer? All right. Here they go. Yes, we are the Highway Guides. We are Anne Marie's guides and teachers. We are your guides and teachers as well. You are born a healer. You are all born with your gifts and your talents and your missions. And Agatha, you were born a healer. So you don't become a healer, you are a healer. What you need to know is how to connect with the universal energy and how to transform yourself into what you are meant to be. Okay? You can access universal energy. We know you have already plans in the works. Do not worry. It will become a part of you just as it became a part of our dear one. She always had it in her heart that she would love to heal. And that is because the heart knows your truth. The heart knows your path. That is your inspiration. So there was great work done by us to put her in front of the right person at the right time, at the right time, the right convergence of things. And she had the grace to connect the dots and go with it. So open yourself up to the grace, open yourself up to the opportunities, and don't think too much about it. You do not need degrees and certificates, and you do not need anything but just minimal instruction. It is not about degrees and certificates. It's not about rules and regulations. It's about learning what you are meant to learn. And it is interesting because you will have two students in the same room. One student will pick up on one message, another student will pick up on a completely different interpretation of the same source message, because as always, you are the driver of your own bus. You are going to go where you want to go. So just by putting it out there, saying, I want to be a healer, I would like to know what I need to know, and I trust my guidance to bring what they need to bring in front of me so that I will learn and I will do what I need to do. So you will start, and the more experience you have, the more healings that you do, the more opportunities you have to develop the connection and the flow of energy, you will be healing at all times without even knowing it, because you do not become one, you are one. We love you. We are the Highway Guides. We are Anne Marie's guides and teachers. We are all your guides and teachers, and we thank you for spending your time with us. We thank you so much for your enthusiasm. We thank you for your questions. Our dear one has the ability to channel many different beings. So good for you. Take advantage of that. She doesn't mind. We know she doesn't mind. And keep on going. We will meet you again soon. We will meet you again soon in the near future. As always, live in love, live in joy, live in peace, live in harmony. Realize who you are. Realize that you are connected directly to that one source loving being that created all of the universe, and he indeed enjoys being in you. We love you. All right. Hey, Karen, how you doing? Good to see you. All right, thanks, Jutta. You're welcome. Hi, sweetheart. Okay, everybody. I thank you so much for this interaction. Thanks, Erica. I love you, honey. Thank you for the new people that came on today. Spread the word. I'm going to be doing this. I don't know when I'm going to do it. Keep me in your thoughts and prayers. Keep my mom in your thoughts and prayers. There's a lot of change happening in my life. I'm going to be leaving New York and going to Florida for a period of time. I don't know how long that is. It's all dependent on where Spirit takes me. My calendar for healing is open. Please, if you feel called to, I can help you get through blocks and help your energy flow better. I'm also doing private tutoring, and I'm supposed to make this energy course, which I have to sit down and do. Just pray for me, pray for my mom, and I always, always, always keep all of you in my prayers. I pray directly for all those who have sought me out. And I'm very, very honored and humbled to be a part of your life. Thanks, Karen. Love you. Peace. Peace out, everybody. God bless. Be well.